This is Excellent Men, issue 197, and this is from a really great period where Rouge was leading her own team, and we got Cannonballs there up front, and that is good because I like him. This team, it was Rouge, she was the leader, Cannonballs, Snowman, there was also Cables and Mistake, the Smurfette, as well as Lady Mistermind and R2-D2, and then kinda Saberclaw, who was usually plastered on all the covers. Also, this was when they tried, and it sadly didn't stick, they tried to bring back Art School corner boxes, and I really like that. You got the characters' heads there, I like it a lot, I wish they kept at that. There is Saberclaw, and this marries it quite nicely to that other video, the 90s one with Saberclaw joining. Here, Saberclaw, he wasn't really a member of the team. He was, at best, like a reluctant member. He was their prisoner, really, but they would often end up letting him loose to fight villains, or use as a diversion or a distraction, or as like a weapon or whatever. And this issue is somewhat of a downtime issue between adventures. What's happened is, Rouge, she has been infected with a deadly virus, and now they have taken her to Cables' island Utopia. They're gonna get her medical treatment. This was Cables' setup for a few years. He had like an island paradise that he was like the president of. And sadly, this might be the only comic outside of Cables and Dead Pills to ever play with that idea. One of our subplots here is about Lady Mistermind, that is her, and she's quite pretty. And an ongoing subplot in this book has been that she has got a psychic parasite living in her head. It's the same species as Dr. X's sister from the Van Morrison run. And then meanwhile, off in the Excellent Men ship, we have got R2-D2 and Cannonballs, and then Saberclaw, who has been held in a futuristic future space prison that slows time down for him. Then Cannonballs and R2-D2, they have some of the age-old debate about whether or not Saberclaw should just be killed, and how doing that would be like finding a cure for a disease and all that guff. We've also got a blossoming romance between Snowman and Mistake. This, of course, is long before Snowman was forced into reverse gay conversion therapy. Here he fancies women, and dare I say, the sexiest of women. Snowman, actually, he always did fancy, like, the sexiest women. Mistake here, Mistake is, like, one of the sexiest women ever. Then in the 90s, Emma Frosties, he used to fancy her, and she's, like, the best woman. He used to gang out with Rouge. He was properly ganging out and in love with Miss Magnets. He fancied Moongarden in the Defenders. I mean, there's no way Snowman is gay. If being in love with 4 out of 5 of those characters is gay, then I am a raging homosexual who loves sucking cock and D'ing men up the bum. Here we are with Lady Mistermind. She uses her powers to gain access to loads of the medical resources on Cables' island, and then this bit is pretty mental because she gans into her own mind to perform brain surgery on herself. She's going to remove that parasite. I think a problem with the Excellent Men books after Van Morrison left was that the editors clearly didn't comprehend everything that he wrote, and many of the writers didn't either. Loads of the subsequent writers, they failed to pick up the balls that he left in the playground, and so much of what Van Morrison did was just retconned away. But I do feel with this story, they actually do have a solid grasp on those psychic parasites from that run. But by the end, the psychic parasite, it isn't really the focus of our upcoming story. Lady Mr. Mind, she deals with it quite easily and gets rid of it from her body. But then, off in space, the honeycomb, which is an ancient weapon developed by the shi'ar Empire, well, that is coming to Earth to destroy the planet. Because the shi'ar Empire, they think that those parasites are linked to their inane religious beliefs. And that will be our next story arc. But right now, Cables and his incredibly beautiful and sexy lady friend, they are discussing island stuff, like what to do with the NHS or how to go ahead with Brexit. She isn't in enough comics though. She is brilliant. I would marry her in a heartbeat. This story though, it can be really confusing and hard to follow if you shut your brain down even for a second. We get a lot of exposition in this issue, and you do need to sort of the Van Morrison story first. These crazy blue lines that like surround the characters and stuff, they're meant to denote that the parasite is there. That's like the parasite, the blue lines. And also, whenever characters have black speech bubbles like this, that means that the parasite is in control of that person's body. And in this case, the parasite, it has taken control of Lady Mr. Mind. And Snowman and Mistake, they show up to stop her. They didn't really realise what is happening yet. And the parasite, it quickly jumps from Lady Mr. Mind over to Mistake. But then Cables, he jumps in and he shoots it with one of his infamous big guns. A really good showing for Cables. This is a good story. And then through Mistake, the parasite tries to warn the Excellent Men that the shi'ar Empire created a horrible doomsday weapon to destroy any planet that the psychic parasites live on. And it's currently heading towards Earth. And here we see how the parasite, it has been like resting in Lady Mr. Mind's body since the start of this run. And now the evil doomsday weapon, the honeycomb, it has arrived. And it is a big storm cloud, just like in that brilliant Fantastic Force film. Also, I forgot to say, but at this point, the Excellent Men's aircraft, it was like a flying barge. It's to be continued, of course. This isn't the end of the story. I mean, imagine that, if this was the end of the story. An angry cloud showed up and then nothing happened. This run, I think it's Excellent Men issues 188 until issue 200 and summit. It's really good. We have an unusual group of Excellent Men characters, all of whom are interesting or at least different. We have got great art and writing. Also, this story, it has got an epilogue in an issue of Cables and Dead Pills. Issue 42, I want to say. I reviewed it about a year ago. So if you're going to check out this run, make sure to get that issue. Even though it does have a pretty bad Bill son of a bitch wannabe cover. This is a great comic though, the cover is great too, and it got progressively darker outside as I reviewed it. So I'll rate this comic 7 thumbs up.